Good evening, everybody. We're just going to wait a few minutes while people log in. Thank you for coming to our 7:30 session with Illuminations this evening. I've had a crazy start to the week. It's actually Tash here and not Polly. We're just one and the same these days. But yeah, I've had a crazy start to the week with all our amazing sessions today. So I definitely really need this session now. So I think it's the perfect way to end the Sunday. And hopefully you will feel the same too. Let's just wait a couple more minutes while everyone logs in, and then I will pass over to our friends at Illuminations. Good evening, everybody. I'll just wait one more minute while we have a couple more people join. But we're very excited to welcome you to our 7:30 session with Illuminations this evening. Okay, I think it's time to hand over to Soniyaa from Illuminations. I think we all need this session to start the week off well. So thank you for doing this for us today. And over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm just going to try and see if I can share my screen. But prior to doing that, rather than sharing my screen, I'd like everyone to participate with me in a quick exercise. So what I'd like everyone to do is close their eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and relax. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In and out. And with every breath that you take, you may now continue with normal breathing. And feel your breath moving in and out. As you continue with normal breathing, focus your attention and awareness on your breath from the tip of your nostrils, moving in and out. As you continue to focus on your breath, feel this breath guiding you to go deeper and deeper into your own quiet, inner, sacred space. Now, as you continue to focus on your breath, if at any point your mind wanders away from your breath, make a mental note of it. And once again, gently bring your awareness and attention back to your breathing. And now, with this breath, feel this breath guiding you to go deeper and deeper into your own quiet space. Feel your breath allowing you to drop deep down into your own quiet, inner, sacred space. And as you drop down deep into this awareness, just know that this space of peace and relaxation is available to you at any point, at any moment in your life. Feel your shoulders, your chest, your entire physical body relaxing and dropping down into this inner space of stillness and silence. And now, whenever you feel comfortable, you may gently open your eyes. So, Polly, if you can allow me to share the presentation that I've prepared for today, it will allow me to run through a little brief about what we just experienced.
I will do.
Yeah. Just give us a few moments. So welcome everyone to this presentation that I have organized for all of you today. It's an introduction to meditation for people who don't really meditate. So I've called it Meditation for the Modern Soul. You know, we're so caught up in the everyday busyness of life that sometimes just remaining still in your space of calmness for a few moments can feel so extremely challenging. So what I'm doing here today is taking you through a quick run through about the importance of meditation and how and what it means to just spend a few moments of your day just remaining in your space of calmness and quietness and stillness, and how it can have such an impact on your everyday life, be it in your work, in your career, and in your relationships. So one of the first questions we ask ourselves, right, is who we really are, you know. So when people describe themselves, people often describe themselves by their name. So I would say my name is Soniyaa. I'm from India. I am 28 years old. I'm a female. I work as an engineer or a doctor. But those are simply external labels that we give ourselves. But if we drop everything, so today you have a job as an engineer, a doctor, or a professional, but say tomorrow, because of the pandemic, you don't have a job anymore. So would you still be you? 100%. Let's say the person that you were looking at in front of the mirror today is who you are. But let's say 20 years from now, when you look different and you describe yourself as 27 years old, are you really a 27-year-old? No, now you're looking at a person who's probably 67 years old. But is that still you? So the person that you're looking at in the mirror is still you, but it's not your age. So you are not defined by your age. You're not defined by your name. You're not defined by, you know, where you're from, because that could change as well. And you're not defined by your profession. So when somebody asks you who you are, it's a very important and a profound and a very spiritual question to ask yourself. It basically means asking yourself who you really are without all these labels. And when you start to drop all of these labels in your life, you're just confronted with you. And that is the question we ask. So who is it that you really are? So most of time in life, from our childhood, we have taught to attach value from everything outside of us. So for example, if I have a career and purpose, I have a lot of value. If I, work hard towards earning my college a degree and then getting a job and, having more money, that would, define who I am. So I gain a lot of value and attachment based on my money and success, based on my career, and based on who I'm married to, on whose child I am and where I'm from. Or we gain a lot of value from our health, from our energy, from our looks. So all of these things we've been conditioned to from our childhood to gain value and attachment to things outside of us. But as we all know, and what COVID has taught us, is that life is turbulent and temporary in nature. That when we attach ourselves to things that are external, and the tides always do turn, things always change, and life is full of an impermanence, right? And then it leaves us feeling completely unhappy and disillusioned when the things that we attached ourselves to leave us. And then we're left trying to wonder, why did this happen to me? What is this making me feel? And we start to get triggered about where our life is taking us and who we really are. So meditation, or my approach to meditation for the modern soul, is just taking a step back on an everyday basis, to taking the time out to be able to actually reflect on who you really are without all of these things in your life, and knowing that you are whole and complete with or without them. Because if we start to attach ourselves with things outside of us, when the tides do change, it leaves us feeling empty. It leaves us trying to look for other areas to completely replace that void with. So the goal is to know yourself through the process of meditation and know you are way beyond all the external labels and attachments that we've set forth on ourselves. So what are we all seeking, right? So no one's really seeking to meditate for meditation. We seek to meditate because we're looking to experience more happiness. We're looking to experience more peace of mind. We're looking to experience more contentment. And we're looking to find a sense of balance in our lives. Because if we're able to feel happiness, peace, contentment, and balance, we're then able to show up in our world as the best version of ourselves at any given moment in time. But sometimes what happens is that when we go through challenging situations from our past, we end up forgetting who we truly are. So our approach to meditation is really seeing yourself as a whole. So we look at a holistic healing approach to meditation, which means, what does it mean to be whole, right? What means to be whole is that you not just have a body, but you have your energy, you have your emotions, you have your mind. And all these factors really influence your everyday experience of life, be it in your health, your career, and your relationships. So if your mind is not balanced, if your mind is not content, if your emotions are scattered, you will never be able to feel all of this contentment and peace of mind and balance. So it's about seeing yourself as not just what you can touch, taste, smell, hear, and see, but it's also going and reflecting inwards into your mental state, into your energetic state, and into your emotional state. And meditation becomes the vehicle in order for us to be able to look inwards at all of these areas. So for example, in the earlier practice that I asked everybody to do, right? So the moment I asked you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and focus on your breathing, what's the first thing that happened to many people? They were feeling so unrelaxed. A lot of people might be scattered. Their mind is thinking about their to-do list, what they have tomorrow. Oh, is this a waste of time? This might be so boring. All of this mental chatter in your mind is going around simply because the mind will give you 1,000 reasons for why you should not be present in the here and now. So this is how you can really understand your mental state, that on an ongoing basis, despite your desire to want to feel more peace, the mind is so turbulent in nature and it takes you everywhere except in the present moment. So meditation gives you an insight into your mind and your emotions. When a lot of people meditate, they find it so hard because all the emotional suppression that they've kept locked inside themselves starts to come up. And when we can't confront our emotions in a healthy manner, it starts to make us feel extremely uncomfortable. And what we want to do is we want to run away from our emotions. So rather than healing it, rather than processing it, rather than experiencing it, we're looking to run away from it. And when we come to meditation, it can become that much more challenging to remain in that state of calmness and stillness. So what I'm going to take you guys to do today is just to give you an insight into how to overcome these challenges so that you can get the best value out of your meditation experience. Because we all have realized about the word meditation and how powerful it is, how helpful it can be in our everyday life. But the point is that we're not availing its benefits simply because we're always oscillating between the past and the future. Now, this is how your mind naturally works, right? So in order for us to survive, as a survival mechanism, the mind remembers everything from the past, right? So if you got burnt in your past, okay, the mind will hold on to that trauma just to protect you so that in the future, if you go near a burning fire, your mind will tell you that the last time you went there, it caused you a lot of pain. So a lot of the times your fears, okay, and holding on to past experiences is part of your inbuilt survival mechanism. But the problem is we end up holding on to every single experience in our past. And for many of us, if our past was challenging, if our past was traumatic, if our past was painful, it then doesn't allow us to move into the future because we're so scared that these experiences will happen again, that now, instead of remaining in the present, I'm always either focused on what happened in the past, and because I want to control that, I'm afraid that it might happen in the future. So your mind is never really designed to be in the present. Half of you is never really there. Half of you is living in the past or either worried about the future. So one of the things or most important aspects of meditation is to actually help you come back into the present moment experience and actually training your mind and your brain to be able to actually be in the here and now. So when we talk about, like meditation, for example, there's a voice or a mental chatter or a self-talk that plays in our mind, right? And a lot of times, if we've been raised in environments because of fear, because of labels, we attach ourselves to past experiences, maybe a relationship that we didn't want to let go of, maybe we're scared about what the future has in store. All of this will come as a mental chatter in the mind to tell you 1,000 reasons of why you should not be here in the present moment. And the moment you are remaining in the present, all of a sudden you'll have a desire to actually run away because it makes you feel very uncomfortable. The mind always wants to be in control, and we feel that our sense of control, we overthink and we stress because that's our way of coping with life. It's our way of making us feel that we are in control of every situation that happens in our life. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find an outer solution. So if I get that job, or if I start dating that guy, or if I make $1 million, I'm going to feel happier. But that's just, trying to find an outer solution for an inside problem. And long term, that never really makes us feel or achieve that goal of happiness, contentment, and peace of mind. Because the moment we get that, again, we're looking to achieve more and more and more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through another exercise, but this time I'm going to ask you to be more mindful and conscious of the present moment. Okay, so we're going to do the same exercise that we did in the beginning, but this time we're going to take it a little deeper and with a lot more awareness. Okay, so that we're able to guide ourselves to see how much of the present that we can remain in. So there's an amazing quote before I start, which says, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you are at peace, you are living in the present moment. So our goal is to achieve that peace in our everyday life, no matter how chaotic the external environment is, right? Because life is not going to get easier, right? Let's face it, we have a new COVID strain coming up. We all thought that 2021 will bring in a new energy. So life doesn't stop. The chaos does not stop, but it doesn't mean that we allow that chaos to move internally within ourselves. Okay? So again, I'm going to take you through a quick exercise. And now we're going to start observing how our mind actually works. Okay? So now what I want everyone to do is, and I'm going to share this presentation with you after, so everybody gets a bit of an insight into everything that we spoke about, because I know I only have an hour, but you can actually go back and repeat this practice on your own. So this time, I'd like everyone to close their eyes. All right? Take 3 deep breaths and silently tell yourself to relax. And as you relax, feel your physical body beginning to relax and your mind becoming absolutely calm. So feel your physical body relax, your mind becoming absolutely calm. And now continue with normal breathing. Feel your breath moving in and out from the tip of your nostrils down to your windpipe and back out very slowly and very gently. Feel your breath moving in and out. And just allow this breath to take you deeper and guide you deeper into your own quiet, inner, sacred space. Feel yourself dropping down deep into the ocean of stillness, calm, and peace. And as you begin to relax, just feel your physical body is beginning to relax and your mind is becoming absolutely calm. And now, I want you to pay attention and keep the focus and awareness on your breathing. And whenever your mind wanders away from your breath, I want you to make a mental note of where your mind is wandering to. And very gently, like a little child, bring yourself back by repeating the word present. And when you repeat the word present, feel your focus and awareness back to your breathing. And as you continue breathing, gently allow and give yourself the permission to relax each and every part of your body, starting from the top of your head down to the tip of your toes. Keep the focus and awareness on your breathing. It is very natural for the mind to wander away into the past or the future. But whenever you feel the mind wandering, just catch it, make a mental note of it, and once again, bring yourself back to the present. Feel your breath moving in and out. Now focus on the sensations in your body. Pay attention to any stiffness, stress, or tension in any part of your body. Now tune in to the sounds in the background. Make a mental note of how many different sounds you can count in the background. As you remain in the present moment and tune into all the sounds in the background, count the number of sounds that you can hear. And if at any point your mind wanders away, silently say the word present and feel your attention and focus moving back to your breath. And in a few moments, whenever you feel comfortable, you may open your eyes. Now, in this exercise, this is known as a very short and simple mindfulness technique. And I'm sure many of you would have heard of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of remaining in the present moment. So when I asked everybody to focus on the awareness of their breath moving in and out, this time, we can never stop our thoughts. We can never try to suppress, because what you try to suppress will grow larger. It's like saying, please don't think of a red box. And the more you try and not think of a red box, the more you end up thinking of a red box, right? So the goal is not to suppress your thoughts or not to be thoughtless, right? But the mind is actually communicates to you a lot of important things. It's an excellent feedback mechanism or a tool to tell you, you know, so and so, there's a reason why you're not in the present because you're thinking about work. So, you know, it's important to make a mental note of the areas in your life that are not allowing you to be in the present. It's important to make a mental note of it. And sometimes what I do is after my meditation experience, I even write it down because your mind is telling you this is the area in your life that's not allowing you to be in the present, and this is what you need to address. Okay? Because the more stress, the more control you try to have in these areas, be it in your health, be it in your career, be it in your relationships, these are the areas that actually need to be addressed. So the mind is actually providing you excellent feedback. So we don't want to suppress it. All we're trying to say to the mind is, hey, thank you for the information, but right now I'm going to go back into the present and come back to you and address you later on, right? So in a very gentle and loving way, you acknowledge that the job of the mind is to worry about the past and the future. But at any given point in time, you have control over your mind where you're like, hold on, wait a second, I'll come back to you, and very lovingly and gently bring yourself back to the present. As you keep repeating this exercise in your life, you will notice and find yourself becoming more mindful, becoming more focused. Scientifically, it slows down your brain waves so that you can have the ability to take in more. So when people think that they're going to remain quiet in a meditation experience and it's waste of time because I have so many things to do, actually remaining present in the moment is so much more productive. And it's actually proven to be that people who practice mindfulness are a lot more productive because they're 100% present in where they are, right? So just imagine, for example, like you're running a race or you're in a swimming race, right? Now, if 30% of your energies is worrying about your competitor, you're not giving 100% to where you are right now. So even just before we reach the office or we're at work, we already have a pile of 1,000 things in our mental space. So we're never ever able to give 100%. So if we practice this technique on a daily basis, whether it's for a few minutes, it allows us to declutter what's happening in the mind and actually become focused. And initially, it can be very challenging, right? Because we're all control freaks at some level. We have an inherent need and a desire to be in control. So we feel that by stressing, by overthinking, by controlling, that we're in control. But actually, no, your mind is in control of you. You're not actually in control of your mind. And then the moment you have challenging experiences, because the mind needs an outlet, right? The mind also needs a break. So when challenging experiences hit you in the face, rather than reacting or responding in a calm manner, we're reacting to life. We're reacting to life. And we create more of a stressful cycle in different areas. So by simply tuning in our mind and our brain waves to remain in the present moment awareness, we're really able to achieve a lot more clarity by decluttering our space. All right. And when we talk about the sensations in our body, like even when you start to focus inwards in your body, we'll notice that we're actually holding on to so much stress in our shoulders. But because we're not conscious of it, we're living in our mind. And because we're living in our mind, we're not fully present in our body. So when we experience, for example, shoulder aches and back aches or problems with our back, this problem has been pending for a very long period of time because our body was telling us, hey, Sonia, don't hold on to all that stress that you're holding on to. And I don't notice that I'm holding on to it because I'm not conscious of it. I'm not present. But the moment you become present, you realize, oh my God, my neck feels so stiff. And you start to breathe that out, you'll realize that your stress starts to just completely remove like the baggage that you're just holding on to. So meditation can really give you so much more of an expanded awareness of what you are coming forth with your life on a daily basis. Like, are you coming forth with stress or worry or tension? We've all heard about the law of attraction and manifestation and things like that. And all of us have these amazing manifestation rituals. But the universe or energy responds to your vibration. And if your vibration is always stressed and always trying to be in control and always worried and always like living in fear, you're never able to be fully in the present moment and give the best of yourself. And then we wonder why we have a cycle of unhealthy relationships, why we keep having triggers at work. All of this is a result of us not just, every night just kind of like taking out the baggage that we get all day. We take showers every day in our life. We brush our teeth, hopefully. But it's also important equally to be able to declutter your mind on a daily basis. And we spend so much time aesthetically taking care of ourselves, but our inner self is left, with a pileup of emotional debris. And when it gets too much, that's when we start reacting, and that's when we start getting triggered, or that's when we start getting angry, because the mind needs an outlet. So if you don't do it in a productive way, it will then start to release in an unproductive way. So mindfulness is an excellent technique that people, even the people who have no time to meditate, can actually complete this practice. What I can do is I can record a few moments that I can send to you guys as well on what this mindfulness practice can actually help you do, and actually give you like a short guide in order for you to just spend a few moments remaining in that present moment to kind of let go of things that come your way. So apart from mindfulness, there's an excellent grounding exercise that I do. So let's just say, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have the time to meditate, right? I don't have the time to just, be calm. One of the things that we do is, we call it a grounding exercise, right? And grounding exercise is remaining in the here and the now. When we're so mentally scattered, worried about the past and the future, we're never really grounded in the here and the now. We're not grounded in our body. So one of the excellent exercises that I teach, in my classes and stuff like that, is grounding exercise for you to remain in the here and now. And how do you do that? So for a lot of people who do find it tough to meditate, one of the things that you can do is observe your environment around you, all right? And now start to focus on 5 things you can see, right? So I take a deep breath and I say, okay, now what can I identify around me? So I see the salt lamp. I see this lamp. I see my mobile. I see the hand sanitizer. I see the tissue. Because when we're living in our head, we're not even aware of what's happening around us. So by becoming aware of the things around us, pay attention to 5 things that you can see. All right? So if you're having a bit of an anxiety issue, just focus on 5 things that you can see in the here and the now. Because basically what you're doing is you're telling your mind, hey, I'm in the present. Let's be in the here and the now, right? And then, for example, 4 things that you can touch. So I can touch my clothes. I can touch my hair. I can touch my hands or my palms rubbing against each other. I can touch my skin. I can touch my phone, right? 3 things that you can hear. So for example, this is when you can close your eyes and start to tune into 3 things that you can hear. And if you listen carefully, you'll be able to hear even more than 3 things. All right. So I can focus right now on the white noise of the air conditioning, or the music in the background, or a person who's tapping their foot. And if I keep continuously tuning into the sounds of the background, I'm bringing myself in the here and the now, right? And then, for example, 2 things that you can smell. So I take a deep breath and I try and smell different things that I can smell, right? And then finally, 1 thing that I can taste. So I look inside my mouth and I try and find or figure out one of the feelings or the taste sensations that I may have. So when you do this, like 5 things you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste, you actually start to train your brain to come in the here and now. I actually do this practice right before my meditation experience, right? Because prior to a meditation experience, you're scattered. There's so much going on in the day. You're watching Netflix, people are in the background. You're thinking about what happened. You're processing. So before you start your meditation experience, one of the things that you can do is this powerful grounding exercise as a foundation to your mindfulness experience. And this becomes an excellent way of tuning into the here and the now, bringing yourself back into grounding, back into the present moment. Another really popular technique in meditation that we talk about is breathing, right? So I'm sure breath is very much a part and parcel of a meditation experience, right? And let's just say you live in the external world, okay, and you live in an internal world. So the moment I walk into a room, right, my mind is constantly in a mental chatter. So I live in an inner world and I live in an outer world, right? So in order to bridge that gap between the inner and the outer, breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness. It unites your body with your thoughts. So whenever your mind becomes scattered, one of the best ways to take charge of your mind again is through breathing exercises. So in mindfulness, one of the quick breathing exercises that I taught everyone just now is simply breathing in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils, right? So I asked everybody to continue with normal breathing. But what you can naturally do as well is you can actually control your mind by controlling your breath. So instead of breathing in and out normally, what you can do is you can do 5 breaths in through your nostril and 5 breaths out through your nostril. And the more you can prolong it, the more productive it will be and the more calmer your mind will be. So you can start with a few seconds and then you can increase the gap to 8 seconds or 12 seconds. And as you start to control your breath moving in and out, by pacing your breath, in 3 or 4 rounds, you'll find suddenly your mind is becoming absolutely calm because you're tuning from the outer world and tuning into the inner world. And breath is like that bridge where you walk from the external into the internal, right? There are many breathing exercises for those people who practice yoga. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This helps a lot for emotional cleansing. If you have a lot of emotions that are stuck in your space that you want to release, sometimes breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth might also be very helpful. If you want to take it deeper, you can breathe with your abdomen, for example. With every time you inhale, your stomach moves out, and every time you exhale, your stomach moves in. And this is also really helpful to get sleep at night. It is excellent for sleep. So it's abdominal breathing, and it is so useful to help you calm your mind and release stress. So the point being is that there are many different techniques, but in a meditation practice, grounding is extremely essential, right? A quick grounding exercises. Start by controlling your mind or managing your mind by controlling your breathing. And then start to go deep, allow this breath to guide you to go deeper in your inner space. And then again, your mind wanders, and allow your mind to wander. Don't try and suppress it. Focus on where the mind is wandering, make a mental note of it, and gently bring it back. As you keep doing this, in a few rounds, you're going to become a pro, and you'll find yourself dropping deep down into an inner stillness. And we all have that peace and stillness that lies within us. We're just not tapping into us. It's, for example, if you go into the ocean, right? No matter how choppy the surface is, if you've experienced a diving experience and you dive deep down into the bottom of the ocean, you will notice stillness and calmness. So in the same way, that's exactly what a meditation experience is. On the surface, it's very choppy because your conscious mind is running and scattered and all over the place, but you have the ability and the opportunity at any given moment of time in life onwards to be able to dive deep down into the space of inner stillness, peace, and calmness that exists within you. So here are a few of the breathing exercises. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide this presentation to the Tishtash team, and I'm going to have them email it to everyone who's attended today. So they get this presentation, and you have the understanding of all the different types of meditation experiences. The breathing exercises, whether it's a cleansing breath, whether it's an equal breath, whether it's a rapid breathing breath. These are all the different techniques that you can utilize in your daily meditation practice. So one of the things that, we focus on and, we talk about in terms of health, right? Because, many times we are so defensive, right? Like life is so challenging and we always feel we have to be in a fight flight kind of state. And your body as well, like reacts to the way your mind is thinking. So when you go into a meeting, you have to prove yourself, you have to achieve, you have to acquire. Because in our world, the more we acquire, the more we achieve, we feel the more we're valued. So as a byproduct, we're always on this guard, we're always on a defense, we're always have our guards up to go out and get more and more and more. But in that space, we're not actively relaxing. So studies have shown when we actively allow ourselves to relax, it allows us to then become more present in our awareness, right? So being aware of what's happening in your body is so important. And one of the things that we don't find it easy to do is relax because we don't feel safe to relax. We don't allow ourselves to relax. We don't have trust that things flow in their own time, that everything has its process. We feel that we need to be in control of every single situation in our life. But sometimes less is more. There's an excellent author called Kate Northrup, and she talks about doing less is actually doing more. And you'll realize when you start to tune into the awareness in your body, it doesn't mean like, oh, be lazy and procrastinate, but it's just about allowing yourself to come up with solutions where you're not always in fight and flight. Because in that mode, you're not always achieving the best results. And sometimes by remaining in a space and tuning into what your body needs at that point in time. So sometimes in life, we need to be proactive. We need to run after things. We need to, be in control of everything in our life. And that is really honoring where we are at one point. But we don't have to be like that at every point. It's just like the moon, right? The moon goes through its new moon and all its phases and cycles. We as human beings also operate, especially with women. Women operate in cycles. So every cycle cannot be go, go, go productive. There's a cycle for, you have to reap the awards, and there's a time when you have to be more proactive. There's a time when you require rest and relaxation, and there's a time when you have to be extremely active. So it's about tuning into the awareness in our bodies. It's about tuning into the awareness of what we need right now. And as we begin to meditate, we actually start to honor what our body is telling us. We start to honor that at some points in life, yes, we have to go out there and achieve, but at other points, rest and relaxation is equally essential and important for us to be able to get the best out of life, right? So allowing yourself, so very important statements to make is it's safe to relax, because your body keeps telling you have to be fighting, it's not safe to relax, you won't be able to get that extra, project if you're going to relax, right? It's allowing, I allow myself to relax. I release all that no longer serves me, and I allow that which is in my highest and best to flow to me easily and effortlessly. And this phase and this cycle and and just talking to yourself and tuning into your body really allows you that safe space to be able to relax. I'm trying to pack as much as I can in 1 hour, but these are really important guidelines for any meditation experience. It's very basic, of course, because it's just in 1 hour that we're trying to do, but these are only a few tips that we need to do on a daily basis, because we're living in a modern world with all its challenges. And like I said earlier, the challenges don't get any easier. But taking a few moments out by speaking to yourself, allowing yourself to relax, tuning into your body, grounding yourself, trying to remain in the present, tuning into where your mind is wandering, it gives you excellent feedback of who you are. And nobody in this world knows yourself most intimately than you. So it's about really expanding your awareness to be able to follow your intuition. So people talk about intuition in business or intuition here. Your intuition is guiding you at every point in time. But the problem is we're not listening because we're always scattered in the past and the future. And we have this talk that's going on, and the noise is so loud sometimes, it doesn't allow us the opportunity to listen to what our intuition is trying to tell us. So our philosophy here at Illuminations is when you change things inside of you, you can change things around you, right? And 20% of your success, as they say, is based on your skill. 80% is based on your inner programs and patterns, your behavior, your belief systems, your thoughts, your attitudes, your actions, your words, and all of this comes from the mind. So if we're not able
Hello, I'm not sure what's happened there. We seem to have lost the Illuminations team. It's Tash here. Let's just give a couple of minutes to see if they can log back in. Please bear with us. We're just waiting to see if the Illuminations team will rejoin. I'm not sure what's happened at their end. At least it's towards the end of the session, which I was really, really enjoying, and I hope you were too. Hopefully they will log back in to finish off the final few minutes. Just give us a couple more minutes and let's see if they reappear. Hello.
Hi, sorry, it seemed to have logged me out.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was just about to wrap up in any case, and I was just having this last point that I wanted to make about how 20% of our talent is based on on our skills, and 80% is based on our inner programs and patterns. And all of this arises from our mind. So the idea is, at best, to be able to manage our mind, to be able to, as an excellent vehicle to be in charge of your life when you're in charge of your mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send across this presentation, and if you can share it with the group, that would be excellent.
Yeah, no, definitely. Send it over and I'll make sure that everyone who's registered gets sent it.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I was just on the last slide in any case. And here. Okay. And yeah. Sorry, technical issues here. No, I need to go to the last slide. Go to the last slide. No. All right. Yeah. And, of course, we believe in a philosophy that your outer world is a reflection of your inner self. And most of the time we're looking for an outer solution to solve an inside problem. But sometimes, meditation is a vehicle for us to just take a few moments, manage our thoughts, manage our emotions, and allow us to be able to manifest in our lives that which we desire. And it starts completely from within by just spending those few moments in your day. So I hope I've been able to communicate a brief, approach to meditation in a very simple and logical kind of manner. It,
I'm sorry about that all. It seems like we're having a few technical issues to finish off the session. Let me just see if we can get Soniyaa back, so at least we can wrap up and just answer a couple of questions that we've got. Bear with me one more minute. Oh, hi.
Hi, sorry, it just keeps disconnecting. I think it's meant to be done right now.
Exactly. I think it's had a long day too.
Yeah.
Do you want to just wrap up with? There's a couple of questions.
Sure.
You want to, if you were you in a good place to finish your slide, or
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
okay to take questions? Yeah.
Yes. So I'm good with the slide. I was just talking about how to identify with a burnout. So what happens in a meditation experience when you're really not able to be present as much as you're trying to? So for example, if I ask you to close your eyes and focus on the here and now, and you're just not able to do it, you know that your mind, is completely scattered in many different places. And remember, your mind is like a processing unit, right? We only have the ability to process so much information. Now, when you overload your mind with more than it can process, it will lead to burnout, right? So, when you start to meditate, you'll realize that the overload of thoughts is heading to feeling burnt out. And what do you do to ease the symptoms? Of course, like I said, breath work is excellent, okay? Using this exercise of grounding becomes important. Maybe actually, if you're trying to meditate and you're thinking about a traumatic experience in the past, because we suppress so much of our emotions and feelings, it might be helpful to go and get an appointment with a practitioner who can help you process your emotions better, or who can help you become more aware of what's happening in your inner space and to help you release it. So we at Illuminations provide so many techniques like hypnotherapy, like energy healing, things that can help you release the emotional and mental debris that we hold on to on a daily basis. And sometimes we're not consciously aware of it. But as you start to tune into your mind, you become more aware of what happened to you in your early years, and the pain and the trauma that you're holding on to. And because you don't want to experience that pain and trauma, you're doing as much as possible to avoid it. So these are many techniques that you can do. I have another question. Is it better to meditate in the morning or night? Well, they say that, it's amazing to meditate in the morning, because your brain is still not in the fight flight zone yet. It is not rational. So, whatever you do in your meditation experience is more effective. However, I personally find it a lot more helpful to meditate at night, because it allows me to remain more calm. It allows me to have, like healthier sleep patterns. It just allows me to go into that deep space of sleep. But again, it can also be very effective if you meditate right after you work out, because when you exercise, you're circulating a lot. So when you start with your breath work and move into meditation, the body has already had an excellent release, which means your meditation can be more, like, I guess, like effective or more productive after even a workout. So it completely depends what calls to you and what your routine is like. And some people find it better to meditate in the morning or the night. Studies have shown it's more effective to meditate in the morning, but I personally use it to help me get better sleep at night. So, yeah. Any other questions? I guess there are no more questions.
Yeah, I guess no, it was definitely, that was a much needed session to end the day. So thank you, Soniyaa, for that.
No, yeah, most welcome. I'll provide the presentation. And so hopefully it gives anyone more insight. And if they have any more questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you so much for your attention. And it would be nice to have seen everyone, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the space to be able to provide this opportunity for everyone. And yeah, I wish you all a very lovely evening ahead. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Good evening, all. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more fabulous sessions. Night, night.
Bye.